Welcome to the Social Innovation Global Ethics Forum 2018 Speaker Interview Series on Decentro Report. Brought to you by HoryouToken, a cryptocurrency driving the new renaissance. A link to this awesome blockchain project is below. Hi everyone, I'm Decentro reporting at the CGEF 2018 conference here in Singapore. I've got Brian Wilson with me here today. Brian, thanks for being on the show.
Hey man, thanks for having me. I really enjoy your company and your conversation, so I hope that maybe something from this interview will inspire somebody to do something positive in the world.
I'm sure it will. So we'll introduce you first, crypto evangelist, entrepreneur, crypto bar owner. That's in Japan, outside of Yokohama, crypto miner, IT guru. Brian, what are you working on right now that you want to tell viewers about?
Well, I don't know if I'm an IT guru, but I have participated in electronics and technology for the last 20 years, and that's what kind of primed me to have maybe a deeper understanding about blockchain technology and that kind of stuff, and how I ended up just falling in love with the idea of how this technology can change the world for a positive reason. And so really to answer the question, or at least to talk about kind of my role in doing that in the bar.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's actually in Yokosuka, which is south of Yokohama, about 30 minutes. And we just like to kind of educate, people there. Come by, have a beer, and let's talk about blockchain and how this can actually have a positive impact in the world.
And it makes a difference to hang out, socialize, and talk about the decentralization,
to a perspective that's comfortable and, is relaxed. And usually when somebody has a beer or two, they like to open up a little bit more, and really talk about how they feel about something. And I think there's a little bit too much speculation and a little bit too much of that negativity that's being brought to cryptocurrencies and stuff. But when you look at a cryptocurrency like HoryouToken that's being brought up, and what you see behind us, and that's why I'm participating so much in this project, in this program, is because it is taking the idea that blockchain can be used for good and showing how it can be done, and actually a traceable way to see that somebody actually invests into this type of token and uses it for this positive good, and you can trace that from the beginning of its origin to it receiving at the end where it needs to be and where it was supposed to be sent to. It's too much about it. It's too much of an investment is ending up in the hands of the executives and the administrators and like all this type of stuff, and doesn't actually get to where it was meant to get to.
Or even foreign aid. It's like 90% of it, even more, will go to building the dictator's new house, on the coastline.
The bonuses, right? The bonuses to the CEOs and stuff. You see some of these organizations that are supposed to be about donation and charity, and all of a sudden the CEO is getting a $5 million bonus. Why? Where does that come from?
Now, that's one reason I originally got really switched on from HoryouToken, is just the transparency it allows between investors and the recipients, charity donators and the recipients. It's just so important, and it's such a shame that when people donate, such a huge proportion of that just goes into somebody's pocket that doesn't even need it. Yeah. Anyways, we're going to switch modes here. I'm going to pick your brain. So on your profile for the Horyou CGEF event, it states that you'd like to see the end of wars. Do you see the military-industrial complex being a major challenge to overcome, along with the fact that we are still profiting in many ways from the war machine?
That's a great question, and would take a long time to fully vet with an answer. But I think in the short, I would say,
let's hear it.
I was in the military. I was in the United States Navy. I did 6 years time there.
So you're a good guy to talk about this.
Well, I traveled the world in the Navy. I went from port to port. Singapore was actually one of my favorite ports. We pulled in a lot because I was a West Coast sailor based out of Japan. But, I saw some of the things in the world that were not good, that most people wouldn't want to see. And I saw how there, is a situation where the military-industrial complex is essentially pushing, things on the world that don't necessarily need to be that way, in a way that stirs up conflict and eventually creates, aggression within countries that want to, try to protect their own way of life. And yet are being told that they can't live the way that they want to live based on an idea of somebody else from another place. And a lot of that, it's a really big answer and a lot of stuff, but essentially there's a lot of people that have a particular interest in making this happen because it's very, very profitable. War is profitable, extremely, extremely profitable. Some things out of war can be considered good because there is a lot of innovation, and that innovation can get transferred to the private sector for good purposes.
Well, you can innovate without attacking people.
That's true. That's true. But okay, so in Israel, I have a company in Capital 76, and they do cryptocurrency mining and things like that. A lot of the technology that these guys learn to be able to create the technology that they have to do good with it, they learned in the military, because everybody in Israel basically has to go through the military.
Yep.
And they learned the technology that were applied towards military systems in cryptography and needing to protect and surveillance and all these other things. But there was good that came out of that. But I agree, that it's at a point where, what kind of value are you getting out of that versus, what kind of destruction are you creating? And I am in the mentality that we need to look at this from a different perspective, and we need to change the way that we do business in the world. And that's why I think that Horyou as an organization is helping facilitate that by bringing everybody to the table. The more people that you can bring to the table, the more people you can bring to the conversation, the better ideas that come from that, and the better ideas and solutions that can be created from those ideas to help solve some of the world's biggest problems.
Right on, Brian. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's interview. Maybe we can have round 2 tonight over beers. How's that sound?
Round 2. You guys up for round 2?
I'm definitely up for round 2. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. It was a pleasure, Brian.
Thank you for having me.
Before you move on, make sure you like and share this video. Also, please subscribe and ring the bell so you can catch the rest of the Decentro Report playlist for CGEF 2018, giving you a chance to meet all the speakers from this awesome event. Brought to you by HoryouToken, a cryptocurrency driving the new renaissance. A link to this awesome blockchain project is below.